Dear students, today we are going to study about population control and family welfare. Before going to the details of birth control or the population control, let us see the importance of it. You know that human population has been growing exponentially over the past several hundred years, and now it has come to a point that it is very important to keep the population growth under control, because the resources available in the nature are very limited and it is very difficult to meet the demands of the increasing population. So it is very important to keep the population growth under control, and it can be achieved by focusing on the family welfare, because families are the basic units of the society, and the wellness of the society will definitely it is dependent upon the welfare of the families. This slide shows the population growth statistics that is prepared by United Nations. So according to United Nations, by the year 2100, the world population will reach a number above 11 billions. Now the world population is above 7 billions, and by the year 2100, it will be above 11 billions. As far as the national population is concerned, India stands second in the list after China. So China has the highest population in the world and India stands second. So it is very important to control the population growth as far as India is concerned. And the population growth control can be effected by family planning. The family planning it refers to the practices that help the couple to decide the number of children that they can have. So the family planning is helping the couples to attain certain objectives. That is, they can avoid unwanted births. If they do not prefer to have a child at a particular time, they can avoid the birth of the child. Then they can bring about wanted births. If they prefer to have a child at a particular time, they can plan in such a way that the couples can receive a child. Then they can regulate the intervals between the pregnancies. They can fix the spacing, that is, after the first pregnancy, after the first delivery, the couple can wait for several years. They can decide whether they have to wait for 1 year or 2 years or 3 years. So like that, they can fix the spacing between the pregnancies. Then they can control the time at which birth occur in relation to the age of the parents. If the age of the parents is above 30 or 35, they can decide whether it is safe to have a child at an age above 35. So based on that, they can decide whether they want the pregnancy or not. Then they can determine the number of children in the family, whether they want a single child or 2 children or more than 2 children. So like that, they can decide the number of children that they can have in the family. So all these are the objectives of the family planning. So family planning is actually concerned with the birth of the children, and the decision is actually taken by the couples or the parents. Then National Family Welfare Program. Family welfare is different from family planning. I told that family planning is concerned with the number of children or the birth of the children, whereas the family welfare, it is actually having a broader perspective than the family planning. Family planning, the concept of family welfare, as I told, it is having a broader perspective, and here you can see family planning is just one factor that is coming under family welfare. Family welfare, it is actually concerned with the several factors such as nutrition, education, health, employment, women's welfare, rights, then safe drinking water, shelter, etc. All these factors which are concerned with the wellness of a family, they are coming under the family welfare program, not just family planning. Family planning is also important because the welfare of a family is dependent upon the number of persons or the number of individuals or the number of children that the couples can manage, or they can manage health in a well state. So that is the focus of family welfare. It is focused on all the aspects of a family for its wellness. Then, two-child norm. This is one of the objectives of the family welfare program in India, that is to promote two-child norm. So there is a popular slogan, that is, sons or daughters, two will do. And this is the long-term objective of the family planning program, that is to achieve population stabilization by 2045. Now you can see that the population is growing exponentially and it has to be stabilized. The long-term objective of the National Family Welfare Program is to achieve a population stabilization by the year 2045. And now we are going to family planning, or the control of population growth. The population growth or the family planning can be achieved by the use of contraceptives. Contraception, it is a term that is concerned with the prevention of union of sperm and ovum, then suppressing ovulation or interfering with the implantation of the fertilized ovum in the uterus. So contraception is actually the process, or it is actually concerned with the prevention of birth of a child. You know that a child is developing from a zygote, and the zygote is formed by the union of sperm and ovum. So if we prevent the union of sperm and ovum, the zygote will not be formed and the child will not be formed. And the ovulation can be suppressed. That is another method of contraception. So ovulation can be suppressed, so ovum will not be formed and fertilization will not occur. Then, if fertilization occurs, then zygote will be formed, and the zygote can grow only if it is able to get implanted into the wall of the uterus. Because the child, if the embryo has to grow, it has to receive nutrition, and the nutrition is obtained from the body of the mother, and for that the embryo has to establish a connection with the body of the mother. So that is made possible through the wall of the uterus, and for that purpose, in a normal case, the zygote or the embryo has to attach itself to the wall of the uterus. That process is called implantation. If by some method we interfere with the implantation of this embryo, the embryo will not be able to attach itself to the wall of the uterus and it will not be able to grow. It will be discarded. So this is the third method of contraception. So these are the methods for the prevention of birth. And the aim of contraception is to help women avoid unwanted pregnancies. And an ideal contraceptive, it is defined as one which is free from side effects. If a woman is going for a contraceptive method, it should not have any side effects for the health of the woman. Then it should be safe and it should be reversible. That is, when a woman, if she prefers to have a pregnancy, then this contraception, it has to be reversed, and she should be able to become pregnant. So contraceptive method, it should be reversible. Then it should be easily available, and the cost of the contraceptive device, it should be cheap. It should be affordable for the family. So these are the factors, or these are the criteria which determines whether a contraceptive method is ideal or not. Then coming to the details of birth control, the birth of the child in a family can be, or the birth of children for a couple, it can be controlled by natural methods or artificial methods. Natural method, it is by natural means we are controlling the birth of the child. There are three methods for the natural birth control, that is withdrawal method, then abstinence method, and breastfeeding. Withdrawal method, it is called coitus interruptus, and it is actually disengaging the penis before ejaculation. you know that that is during sexual intercourse the penis will ejaculate semen which contains the sperm, that is the male gamete, and this male gamete is deposited in the vagina of the female, and this male gamete is moving towards the ovum and it is fusing with the ovum to form the zygote, and the zygote is later developing into the embryo. And if the ejaculation or the deposition of semen containing the sperms in the vagina is prevented, the chances of pregnancy can also be prevented. So that is after that is while undergoing sexual intercourse, before ejaculation, the penis is withdrawn from the vagina of the female, and that is the deposition of semen is prevented. This is called withdrawal method, and this method is least successful because of the heat of passion during sexual intercourse. The withdrawal often fails, and sometimes before ejaculation itself some leakage can occur, which can result in the release of a few drops of lubricating fluid from the penis, and which this can contain a few sperms. So this method, withdrawal method, is the least successful method. Then the next one is abstinence method or the rhythm method or calendar method. A woman can observe the menstrual cycle, her own menstrual cycle, and she can identify the approximate time period during which ovulation occurs. For a normal healthy woman, the menstrual cycle, the duration of a menstrual cycle will be 28 days. The duration of a menstrual cycle will be 28 days, and from day 9 to day 15, normally ovulation occurs on the 14th day of the menstrual cycle. Sometimes there can be a variation of 1 or 2 days, that is 1 or 2 days before or 1 or 2 days after. So on an average, the 9th day, the period from 9th day to 15th day can be considered as the fertility phase, and during which there are chances of becoming pregnant if she is engaging in sexual intercourse. And the period before this period, that is from day 1 to day 8, and after this fertility phase, that is from day 16 to day 28, these two periods are considered as safe periods. That is, during this period, these two periods, it is there is no chance of getting pregnant. So if that is from day 9 to day 15, this is the danger period. This is called a danger period because during this period there is chances of release of ovum, and if the female is is engaging in sexual intercourse, then there are chances of getting pregnant. Here also you can see from day 1 to day 7. Day from 1 to day 7 it is safe period, and after that up to here in this calendar it is shown from day 8 to day 19 it is danger period. That is the period that is shown in red borders. It is the danger period or the unsafe period during which there are chances of becoming pregnant, and after that period also there is the safe period, that is a woman can safely engage in sexual intercourse. The period can vary depending upon individuals, depending upon from person to person. This safe period and the danger period can vary because each woman will be different in with regard to health status, then with regard to the nutrition and emotional status, and all these factors which influence the menstrual cycle. So there can be individual differences, and the woman has to monitor her body, the changes which are taking place in her body, and she has to identify the danger period and the safe period. And based on that, they can decide, the couples can decide the safe period when they can engage in sexual intercourse, and the danger period during which they have to abstain from sexual intercourse so that the chances of pregnancy can be avoided.